Hi, everybody. This is card-carrying member. I'm actually going to come in the picture for a second. This is card-carrying Deanna Durbin Society member Rusty Frank with Helen Geller, the newest card-carrying member of the Deanna Durbin Society.
Yay.
And it's April 20th, 2021. So, Helen, tell us about the time that you actually got to see Deanna Durbin. And you could...
That was a very exciting time for me. Just a year before, we had moved to California from upstate New York, and my father surprised us all. He had 3 tickets to the Eddie Cantor show. Now, Eddie Cantor was a very famous American comedian, singer, jokester, and he had his own show, which was very popular. Well, that night, his guest stars were a very young, teenaged Deanna Durbin and a boy wonder singer, Bobby Breen. Now, Deanna Durbin had already made quite an effect on the whole Hollywood scene, because not only was she a very pretty little girl, she was very nice and just a fabulous singer. And after 3 Smart Girls, she crawled into my heart just as much as she crawled into everybody else's. And my father said, "We're all going to see the Eddie Cantor show." And I said, "Oh, wonderful." I was so excited. He was, in that year, a pretty good, pretty well-known actor in the movies, as well as on his radio show. So we went there very excited. We had good seats, even though they were in the balcony. It was called the Lux Radio Theater. It was a theater where they presented movies from the script, and the stars of the movies were the presenters of the show. But this time, it was Sunday night, and it was the regular Eddie Cantor show, and it was, the sponsor was Texaco. It was a gasoline oil company, and it was the Texaco Star Chief radio hour with Eddie Cantor. And on every seat there was a little plastic fire chief hat, which I was very thrilled to have, as was my brother, because we felt we were part of the Hollywood scene. Well, the show started, and Eddie came on, and he did his number. It was great. And then he presented Deanna Durbin, and she was adorable. I only wish that program had been recorded. Maybe it was. I don't know. I should look into it. But she sang, and she had, well, you know, what a sweet bell type of sound she had. She was wonderful, and she took to the business like Esther Williams took to water. She was wonderful. It's a time in my life. I was like 10 years old at the time, so she was extremely young teenager, and I'm now 93 years old. But I guess the impact of that first sight of her in person had such an impact on me that I remember it so clearly. It was just a wonderful experience, and I'm so grateful that I had the opportunity to see her in action as really a kid, and she was wonderful. I'm enjoying her pictures so much again. She still carries that wonderful persona all through my life, and I'm sure through yours as well. And I feel very grateful. There's a Deanna Durbin club still remembering her and enjoying her every time they see one of her films, and me as well. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
Now, I just have a few follow-up questions for you.
Sure.
What year were you born?
November 6th, 1927.
And who's older, you or your brother?
My twin brother is 20 minutes older than I am.
So you were really the youngest in your family.
Yes, I'm the youngest of 8 children. I have a sibling left. She's 96. I don't remember how much older. Deanna Durbin was just a few years older than I. And I love the association, even though it was from a little bit of a difference.
Now,
But we were both in Hollywood.
Now, would you describe your family as economically?
Well, it was during the Great Depression when I was born, including Prohibition, no drinking. But times were hard, and just between you and me, my father made ends meet because he built a still, illegal, and he made whiskey. And the funny thing is, his best customers were police officers.
Wow, that's something. So you made it through the Depression, willy-nilly.
With the wonderful help of that wonderful girl.
What do you think it was about her movies that drew you to them when you were young?
Well, I come from a musical family. I'm a retired actress. I sing, not like Deanna. I'm more of a belter, you know. She just exuded a feeling of everything's gonna be great. Just keep your chins up, all of them, and we'll get through this time.
Yeah, well, that's so nice. Could you sing a little bit of one of her songs for us? That's one of your favorites.
Let's see. Oh, Mad About Music. She's on a bicycle with a bunch of girls, and they're bicycling around Lake Hollywood, which is a reservoir in the hills of Hollywood. And there was no chain link fence then. It was no paved road. It was sort of a dirt road, but you could hike around the lake, and it was a nice pastime, and it was free, thank goodness. And she's riding her bicycle, and she's singing, "I Love to Whistle." And I remembered it just from that movie. Talk about impact. And it went sort of like this. I love to whistle 'cause it makes me merry, makes me feel so very. Can't whistle. I love to yodel all the livelong day, yodelay, yodelay, oh-ee-oh. Early to bed, early to rise, makes you healthy, wealthy, and wise. I found out, I know it's true, a whistle does much more for you, so I love to whistle. Troubles don't come near me, especially when they hear me. La 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 la. That's my whistle.
Okay, now you stay right there for a second, because I want to add a little bit to this story about Helen. So, I started coming to this house that we're in right now when I was 16 years old. And we were both in a show together. She was the star. It was about the Marx Brothers. And she played the Marx Brothers' mother, Minnie Marx. And the show was called Minnie's Boys.
Yeah.
And I was in the chorus. Well, I just fell in love with her whole family. And I pretty much moved in here for one summer. And there was singing all the time, and there was food all the time, and there was laughter all the time, and the door was always open for guests. And I think what I remember most, there was something in my memory that just made me fall in love with this family, is one of the first nights that I spent the night over was we were all sitting in front of the TV at 10 o'clock at night. We started watching an old movie, an old black and white movie. Well, at my house, the TV went off at 9 o'clock. That was it. And there we were at 10 o'clock starting a movie. And then we watched it. And then at midnight, it was over, and a Deanna Durbin movie came on. And Helen said, "Oh my gosh, it's a Deanna Durbin movie. Let's watch it." And I could not believe it, that we were now going to watch another movie starting at midnight. And I said, I have found my people. And so she's been my friend and my surrogate mom and all those lifelong
I'm
friends.
so happy that there is an organization
Yeah.
that loves and remembers Deanna Durbin. She was a darling.
So here is from 2 card-carrying members of the Deanna Durbin Society saying thank you to all of you and all that you do.
Thank you.
Okay.